ASMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we are reviewing Dave Season 2, Episode 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The info here reads, Dave meets NBA all-time leading scorer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but gaining his affection is not exactly a layup. A fucking pretty good episode here, man. This might be definitely one of the better episodes of this season so far. But one of Dave's old songs from about a year ago goes, semi-viral, or was going viral, and all of a sudden, the song is called Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hears it, and so they have this, the shot is from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's house, and he's got like his classical music playing, and he's enjoying being retired for a very long time, right? Like just, he's an older gentleman now, and fucking all of a sudden he plays that song by Dave, and it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it's, white, da 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 da, it's some other hip hop beat, but yeah, so he decides he's gonna talk to Lil Dicky. He's gonna, try and write a piece on him, and he's, he goes to ask him some questions, and Dave's totally thinking it's gonna be like some normal ass, regular kind of chill, low key interview, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is like kind of, Dave does his homework on him, Googles him real quick, and he asks like real questions, and is it like racial overtones and all this crazy shit that Dave is obviously not ready. So he's like, oh, I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be better, and he's trying to like record him on the tape. It's just funny how awkward he is. Meanwhile, Mike has taken on these new TikTok clients, and they're like supposed to be Jake Paul and Logan Paul. They're like two white kids, early 20s, late teens, and they're, pulling pranks on people at the fucking restaurant that they're at. And, Gata sees them pull this prank, and he's like, oh, what's up, man? And Mike introduces them, because he manages them. And they're like, oh, yeah, man, what's up, dude? We'll shout each other out. We'll hang out. Da-da-da. We'll hook you up. We'll try and get you some parts. He's like, okay, cool. So the next day, Dave goes to... by the way, Dave woke up at his fucking ex-girlfriend's house, and he's trying to see her later on that day, and she's obviously not with it. Anyways, so second day when Dave goes back to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's house, they do this interview, and Dave's kind of answering these questions, all politically correct and all this kind of shit, but he's talking too much because he's all stoned. Next, what happens? Oh, so he takes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to his ex-girlfriend's school so he can donate some money. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar does not like being in closed spaces, just from being in a car a little bit. He doesn't like that. So he says he'll wait outside while Dave goes and he donates his $1,000 check. We go back to Gata, who's now got this interview that he's supposed to have. He's supposed to fix the door at Dave's house, but he goes to handle this interview tryout for this job. So he goes there, and this casting director and the director are there, and they're making him fucking freestyle over some crazy shit, like do Android and do this and that, and he's like, what the fuck, it's not really my lane. And all of a sudden they start laughing and rip off their mask, and it's fucking those two twins, those Logan Paul kids from earlier. And so he's all pissed. He's like, fuck y'all, and he ends up punching one of them. And he goes back to Mike's house, and he's fucking ready to scream on Mike. Meanwhile, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Dave have just gotten there, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes to use the restroom with the door that's broken that fucking Gata was supposed to fix, and he's claustrophobic, and so he's fucking trying to kick himself out of the door, and Gata's come in, he's ready to fight Mike because he thinks Mike set him up for those kids, so everything is going wrong. Meanwhile, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is trying to bang himself out of the door, like, yo, let me out, and he fucking doesn't get it. As he kicks the door, he breaks his leg, dude, and the guys scream, and they fucking let him out. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has to take a fucking ambulance, to the hospital. His bone is sticking out. It's fucking gross. And, he says some shit to Dave as he leaves. Dave ends up giving the check to his ex-girlfriend, and he ups it to $5,000. They kind of just show Gata and Mike just, in the background. So there's definitely heat going on there. There's, they're not too happy with each other. But just crazy shit, man. Crazy fucking good episode. It was funny as hell. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a good spot. The realism is so funny. The shit with Gata and those Logan Paul kids, that was good too. It was one of those episodes, man, where the main story and the side story work very well together. And it's just, when it comes together, that anxiety, when they all clash, that was like really crazy. Like they built that up much better than that first 5 minutes of last week's fucking episode. Jesus Christ, that was horrible. But really good episode here. I really liked it. But let me know what you guys think about it, man. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. That's all for today.
ASMR, Kareem Radio.